Hello guys, it's Juan here. Finally, I got the person that made this all possible. Sarah herself. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. She's an amazing person. Mom of one of my students, Waylon. He's sick right now, but I hope he gets better, and I hope he gets back to training soon. That guy is so strong. I miss him. Otherwise, Sarah, tell us what you're here wanting to do and what we're talking about today.
Yes. Okay. So I am doing graduate work for mental clinical health counselor at Colorado Christian University. And currently I am taking social justice and multicultural foundations. And so one of the things that we need to acknowledge is that when we are counseling people, there's America is a melting pot. And so there's a lot of people that come not only from individualistic cultures, but collectivistic cultures. And it's important for us to be aware and just explore other cultures and understand their values and beliefs so that when we're counseling others, we're not trying to misguide people or impose our beliefs on them. And so I am interviewing Juan. And can you say, again, because, okay, so Juan, Vo.
Yeah, that's how you wanted to hear the Vietnamese word.
Yeah.
Well, my parents named me Ngoan. And then when I started learning English, the English teachers couldn't pronounce Wang. It's from Vietnam, so they couldn't. They just said Juan.
Okay.
And, I was 5 learning English growing up. That's what the teacher called me, so that's what everyone called me. Eventually, when it just stuck as I got older.
Okay, so you say 5 learning English. Where were you born?
Where was I born?
Yeah.
I was born in Vietnam.
Okay.
In Con Tum.
Okay.
It's South Vietnam.
So, what brought your family here?
Well, about my family here is a dream. They were very poor, people from the country. So in Vietnam at that time, we're in the 21st century. So just bring it back to kind of where they were at. In America in during 1980s and 1990s. I don't know if you remember those times, right? In America, there were still like innovations, cars, people driving that. And in Vietnam, it was just a lot of farmers, people still living out in the villages. So there wasn't a lot of modern amenities for like kitchen appliances, plumbing, things like of this nature. So there was not a lot of comfortable conveniences. So obviously they were progressing themselves and they wanted better. There was a lot of hardship in Vietnam. Just living at home, the home life, everything was really just real in touch with nature. You know, you had to make things out of clay, cooking with a pan from the ground. So you don't have all this nice tabletop. And my parents eventually just wanted to come to America, work hard. No one had left America before. Left for America. No one had left Vietnam. My dad was he was the son of a GI that my grandma and him hooked up. My grandfather and my grandma hooked up, and he's out there somewhere. We don't know him. We did a couple ancestry. We don't know him, but through that relationship, my dad was born, and through his American citizenship, my grandfather's, and being a soldier, somehow we were able to go through the immigration process, and then my family migrated over here when I was 4, and my dad, mom, left everything to come to America.
Okay, so when you say your family, again, it was your dad, your mom, you.
Yeah.
Who else came over here?
That's it. That's
Okay.
it. No, they didn't know no English. Never probably seen a lot of white people, Caucasian people, black people. So it was just a land where there was hundreds, thousands of other Vietnamese-looking people. So they'd never been on a plane before. My mom only got to past up to elementary grade. Never went to high school. Same thing for my dad. No one ever graduated formal school. So that was their journey and path here.
Okay, so once you got here, I'm curious, yeah, like the culture shock that came, or perhaps, I mean, you were a child, but I think about maybe what you even witnessed for your parents, or just, can you describe what it was like the first few years having come here?
I'll be honest with you, the exact memories are kind of gone.
Mm-hmm.
I just have feelings. The feelings were uh, exciting. I don't remember the hardships. You don't
Okay.
remember hardships. I really don't remember hardships. At this point in life, I only remember all the joy, right? Like running, learning new English, my parents not being there because they had to go grind. They had to go work low-end jobs coming here, learning English, learning how to do business. So they just relied on community, people taking them here, people translating for them, people doing paperwork for them. They were not educated, but they knew the right people. People wanted to help them. So that was real nice. And it was always progressive for us. My parents every night would always remind me of what they're doing to continue growing. And as they were growing, they didn't allow a lot of time for us to be together. However, they wanted that same for me. What they were doing, they wanted me to follow that, work hard, get educated, so that we can continue progressing, continue being better and greater. That's how I just took. That's just how I took every day. I wanted to go to school, have perfect attendance, literally perfect attendance. Walked if I missed the bus. And you know, kids out nowadays, I don't really like that riding the bus because you have to go out in the snow, wait 20, 30 minutes. It's cold. And studying during these kind of like conditions, it's hard. But I was always eager because there was a lot of fun there. There was a lot of friends there. And then at home would be a lot of loneliness, quietness. I didn't know what to do with being quiet. So we lived in a really, obviously, not the greatest conditions. We went from apartments to apartments around this local area of Davenport. Some of the homes that about 30 years ago are still here, right? That we stayed in. I drive by and I visit sometimes. I remember these homes had cockroaches, right, crawling, and we had VCRs. So they'd crawl through the VCRs, and they crawl through the cassette players. They crawl everywhere, right? You turn on the lights on the at night, and we'd go in the bathroom, everywhere on the floor, and then you just walk and they move around. So we were poor in Vietnam, we were poor here, but being poor in America, there was a dream that we were progressive, that we're gonna get better. We're going to build our lives here on the liberties that America gives. We're going to come here, we're going to work hard, and that was our American dream. And with our success, we uplift everyone back home. My mom and dad, my mom's side, she has like 10 siblings. My father's side, he has like 6. And I have so many cousins from my uncles and aunties. Just in my second uncles and aunties. So with everyone there, they were rooting for us. They were relying on us, right? We were, my mom at the time, supporting everyone. My dad was supporting everybody. The whole team, while he's over here picking up my mom's story of him picking up coins off the bus when he's doing that, going to Oscar Mayer, making food and things like this. That's how we grew up, poor. So going to school here, learning, having a clean environment, I was all for it. Never wanted to be at home. Always trying to play a sport, trying to be better, trying to get recognized. I didn't have a lot of that because my parents were gone. I just had the messages. I still desired to be acknowledged. I worked hard to somebody say, "Hey, good job, well done." So I just always pursued that kind of inner calling, and I wasn't the greatest at a lot of stuff when we first started because of learning English. It really balanced out. I caught up with everybody around high school, sophomore year, where my English kind of just made sense. My reading just flowed. My writing and communication, my relationships, everything just made sense now that I'm fully assimilated now. American cultures, English, and everything else. But yeah, that's a little bit of the background where I come from.
Okay, so with that, like what I was reading was the Vietnamese culture is very collectivistic, meaning like when you make a choice, like you mentioned, your parents were working to help support the family, and so when you make a choice, you're not only choosing something for yourself, but how you can benefit the family. Do you feel that influences choices that you make?
Oh, of course. Well, you being a part of the school, you see how powerful we are as individuals. We can do so much, but if we can do it, it's even more powerful with the body of the family members. We all have to be on the same mission. A house can't be divided, right? That's scripture. So we're building legacy. We're bringing good reputation. We're building a good name. Family name is really important. Honor is really important.
Mm-hmm.
These things are the things that our minds and our hearts are focused on, and I think that's why they have that collective culture. We don't want no one in our culture wants to be behind either.
Right.
We all want to live in peace, and we want to grow with each other, be on the same page, and ultimately, we have a lot of loyalty to our family, and we support our siblings. We support our father, our mother. Well, that's how I do it. That's what I grew up seeing.
Right. That's what I was curious about, is that sometimes self-control can appear as though people are just quiet or not willing to maybe stand up. Like in American culture, I just think you get this image of someone screaming or like to prove a point or be right. But from what I understand, like manners, like you mentioned, are very important. So it would be more important for you to display respect to others, even in disagreement, than to like loudly proclaim.
Well,
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. When you have a disagreement, I think the Vietnamese people are very wise. We just have a lot of discretion.
Mm-hmm.
There's a place and time for everything, even for your disapproval, your approval, your disagreements. When you're listening, when you're talking, or when someone else is talking. I mean, when someone else is talking, you're seeking to understand, right? Understand where they're coming from, and not see it as confrontational. You're trying to look past the confrontational part of it. Is the difficult the difficult barriers that the problem presents, right? And so when a person suggests their ideas or their thoughts, we actually looking at the principle of it, the principle of like what the issue is here, how we look at that without disrespecting another person. And then if you do, you're looking to seek the person's story. He's offering this suggestion, this story, because maybe the way that his story was brought up, right? He was brought up with less of disadvantages than someone with full advantages. So the example of somebody that was born in America and someone born in Vietnam, they'll have to go through the immigration process versus kids that were just already born into their birthright. Mm-hmm. These kind of situations, that's what, not going off like a super tangent, but that's how I see us when we talk. Always looking to understand and hear where the person is coming from.
So to listen without already formulating a response.
Well, yeah, like for example, there's a lot of biases and stereotypes. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the truth is, why is there the stereotypes? Asian families, kids are going to be super smart. They're good at math, or they're doing something like this. It's not because of the color. It's not because of that. It's because of our drive, our business, our independence. We want to drive. We're going for our own independence. We want to run business. We want to do this. We want to fulfill our life, live that out, have a great life, right? Not stay poor, okay? And I'm not talking about just money, but nobody just wants to stay poor in their feelings, poor in experiences, poor in health, right? You know, we work hard to have good food, right? So we just don't want to stay poor. You just want to get to a level, a higher standard of living. So when people are the Vietnamese people are driving after like pursuing this, they pass on that mindset to their kids, right? So their kids are always consistently being reminded, hey, you're not like the other kids. Like, right? We're on a different rate. We're on a different path. Work harder. Those kids don't care. We care. We want you to have a name. Build a name. If you don't want one, bring some honor, right? Do something. Go above and beyond, right? Make your family proud. One day, make your son proud. Be a great father, right? So these are our purposes, our reasonings. And that's how I think our culture raises the people. We raise them in their mind. And that mindset, and it gets on and it gets transferred however they want to do it, how they affect the real life with their ideas that we pass on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of switching topics here, we are doing a meal together, and
Yeah.
that is very common again among the Vietnamese culture, is to share a good meal and converse, and so can you explain what you do?
Yeah, let's do that. So Come on. If it's bad, everyone will know.
That's very good.